These are violent mobs intent upon killing policemen, killing soldiers, snatching their weapons, throwing grenades, burning police stations. Which self-respecting state can stand this kind of a nonsense? Last time, in 2010, when this similar agitation took place, don't forget the fact that 112 civilians were killed. This time, about 45 civilians have been killed. So, haven't you straight away reduced the number of fatal casualties? Pellet guns will have to be used. Only thing is that the troops will have to be trained to fire low, fire below the waist. What people don't realize is the tremendous pressures that our soldiers are fighting under. They are damned if they do and they are damned if they don't. And one of my soldiers, who was a Jat, simple salt of the earth, Haryanvi Jat, he asked me one day straight to my face, "Sir, what do you expect us to do? Mara to kyun mara, nahi mara to kyun nahi mara, aap chahte kya ho?" You see, because there is a human rights lobby in this country, there are these fashionistas of human rights brigade and the candle lighting peacenik brigade here in this country, which is after baying for the blood of the armed forces 24/7. When the soldiers get killed, it's no skin off their nose. They couldn't give a damn. The problem is this country has even stopped respecting its martyrs and war dead. There are politicians who have gone on television to state, "Inko to tankha milti hai marne ke liye." We are not paid horse. We fight for our country. We fight for what we believe is right. And if you can't do anything for your soldiers, keep your bloody mouth shut. Let us do our job. You keep the morale up because of the solid regimental traditions of the Indian Army, the patriotism and the nationalism of the Indian soldier, which keeps him going. And he does his duty, whether you abuse him, whether you praise him, whether you kick him, whether you stop his pay or you don't, he will still fight for the country because that is his duty. In the firefight, this boy was leading and he got a belly full of bullets in his stomach. His intestines started hanging out, He pushed his intestines back and, somehow we took him from there. It was night, so no helicopters can land at night. So we took him to the civil hospital. The civil hospital at night, 3 in the morning, they wouldn't open the doors. So we had to break the door down and get him in, pull the doctors out of this thing. And, he was there. So after some time, I wanted to see him. The moment I went to see him, he said, "Sir, sir, sir." And I said, "What happened, son?" He said, "Sir, please tell them to give me a glass of water. Tell them to give me a glass of water." I actually blew my fuse. I said, "This boy has been 1 hour here in your bloody hospital. You can't give him a glass of water?" I would have almost manhandled that doctor, So the doctor said, "Sir, sir, sir, sir," and he took me aside. He said, "He's got a stomach wound, so I can't give him water. It's not advisable to give him water. It is not good for him. That's why we are not giving him water. Please understand." So I was helpless. So I went to that boy. He said, "Saab, unko bolo mere ko pani de. Mera muँह सूख गया है." And after some time I couldn't take it. So I told one of the boys to take out his water bottle and wet his lips. Because his lips were parched, we could make that out. We had climbed from 6,000 feet to about 11,000, 12,000 and then come down all the way. So his lips were cracked and chapped. So I said, just wet his mouth. So he took out his water bottle, which is strapped here, and he gave it to him, ki muh gila karna, peena mat. So quite obviously that boy, he just snatched that bottle and he put it to his head and gug, 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 gug. Before we could stop him, he had drunk the whole lot. And then this boy put his head back on that pillow and he gave me a last look of gratitude and he died. I've seen so many deaths. This is not the only death that I've seen in Kashmir. I've just mentioned one to tell you what your army goes through. So if you can't do anything for your army, just keep your mouth shut. And I tell the boys, keep it up, boys, keep up the good work. You are you made me remember, my boys. You are the last line. You are the last bastion of this republic. You can't afford to fail. You have to go and keep this country together. So give it all that you've got.